Yo, hey, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
What a week.
Welcome to another episode of Wow, What a Week. There are times when the interviewees we feature are completely different when it comes to what they do. And even though they are, today's guests have a somewhat unique skill in common. They both have the ability to leave you on the floor. The one choking with laughter, the other choking till you tap out, perhaps. Curious? Stick around, join us as we get into another edition of Wow, What a Week.
This is What a Week.
What a week. You can't make this shit up.
Welcome to another edition of Wow, What a Week. Today's guest had a chat with us a while ago where he filled us in on his journey as an entertainer. Since our previous interview, he's also spent time playing detective, trying to figure out the real identities of an elephant, a fox, and a lion, and even a lollipop and a donut. Recently, he's experienced a relatively different thrill, where he's surrounded by a crew of people, lots of lights, cameras, and someone in charge in the corner yelling, "Action!" Here to tell us about his new venture, please give a wow welcome back to Skhumba, Skhumbi, Big Banger, Skhumbi. So my Clint,
I'm happy. Brand out Chinese.
my man, the problem with you're like downtown Johannesburg. We never know what's going to happen.
Something might happen. We don't know what, how.
And wait.
Nah, I'm not. I'm good at time. How are you, Joe?
My man, I'm happy to see you. Let me tell you something. Ship 2023. You do nonto are.
Yes.
The Sunday night is easily the funniest comedy show I've seen or attended in my entire life of supporting comedy. And I've supported comedy for over 20 years. And that show, that night, I was literally rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off.
And what people don't know is that the people that were watching the show like you don't know what happened before the show.
Yeah.
Because there was technical things that were happening like your podcast. There's so many technical things that are happening in that desk.
Sure.
But when the show kicked off, I'm like, it's easily. Let's just have as much fun as we can. This is our last show anyway.
Sure.
Because we had so much fun. We went to the island, which we hardly do. Must go Shibangiti. They always tell us about the storm.
Yeah, the weather and the
Which is time that never happens.
Yeah, but nah.
But I said that the O-ship is 90% sold. I'm like, okay, after this interview, this whole thing is sold out.
No. So you are booked for, in fact, I'm going to announce now, he's our first artist for Ship 2024.
Yo, like I always look forward to your ship, man, because it's one weekend where you need in your life.
Sure.
You need that weekend in your life. Like I don't know why, but you just need it in jail.
And it's the one weekend you need, but you don't know you need it until you've had it.
And then more I thought, you know what, I think I need to come back here. And it's gonna take you about 11 months or 12 months young.
No, half of our cabin sales are return offenders.
Obvious, because they want to do more. They're
To offend further.
That's the thing I really escape. Let me repeat it again.
You brought your lovely wife to Oship 2023.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see that side of you. Because we hardly ever see you all lovey-dovey, humnati,
I think one of the reasons why maybe my wife has never attended any O-ship or any other ship that I've done, because we've done the kayak cruise.
Sure.
It's because she's been taking care of the kids all this time and making sure that the foundation of the home is stable enough.
Sure.
Young turn. And it was not a matter of me and him Kiela or saying, oh, you can't come with because wow, how do you take his kaftin? It's work buffet. You can't take his kaftin with buffet.
Why you bring his sand to the desert?
You understand that? I wanted her to enjoy it at the same time.
Sure.
I think she was ready enough to say, yeah, I can leave my kids for. She loves our daughter, but she loves the kids so much. So her not being with the kids for 3 days is a lot.
And I always tell Majita that if you can afford to be the sole breadwinner when you have a brand new child, so that your your wife or your fiance or your baby mama can look after the child. Those children that had mom there for the first 3-4 years are different children.
They are super kids, and I think it's. I have 3 kids. I had 4, and now I've got 3. My firstborn passed on. I didn't have time to see my daughter Onigiwe grow up, to see my son Albongwe grow up, but I had time to see the last one, Usnako Gonke, growing up, and with COVID and post COVID, it has made me to appreciate time at home more than being a strating. So what I did was I built myself a holiday home that I have everything I need on holiday lagling. If it means getting a holiday for the swimming pool in if it means I need a man cave to think, I have it outside. So with that has made me to appreciate my kids more and appreciate what my wife has done with his kids all these years, because we guys Vogak saying there's this Ntambama, there's comedy shows. After comedy shows, there's no way you're gonna do a comedy show and leave afterwards. Sure. You're gonna stay in the match because there's an idea that pops wants to hoy at you, and you see that's been coming on it. Because that's how Sila speaks on it. So you stay behind for all that. Sure. Get home is 2 a.m. More Vogak saying you wake up late because so you wake up, the kids are gone. Now there's radio, there's all these things. So time spent with the kids was so limited, and that is not really good.
Sure. Losing a child.
Yeah.
Often it affects men and women differently.
Sure.
How did you guys navigate that?
The child that I lost was from my previous relationship.
Yes.
But it affects my wife, because she knows this on certain dates.
Sure.
I would never give advice to anyone that has lost a child and say, this is how you go through it.
Sure.
Because you never. You never.
You stay going through it.
It's 17 years later.
Sure.
My daughter is doing matric. My daughter is second born. She's doing matric this year. But I know that if my son was around, I would say university now.
Sure.
So my lifestyle would have changed a bit, because I would have had to work maybe 3 times harder, or planned my life even better, because now I have a teenager that is from Mekasi. I don't want her to do certain things. Maybe now I need to reprimand him and say,
Sure.
or like you don't know those things. But so you can only say, as much as there was pain in losing my son, I was blessed with 3 more kids that are bringing me so much joy.
Sure.
3 different kids. Daughter is doing matric. My son is doing matric in primary. So basically next year we're high school. Sure. The little one is doing grade R. So they're in 3 different stages of school, which is great. You watch them do homework, so like, I'm gonna be living this life for a very long time, a very long time. But I love seeing it.
You know, I've got a grade 3 year. So we got 3 grade
Yeah.
I feel a bit better. No, a bit better.
Yeah.
And then also there's a friend of mine, he's 62. He's got a 3-year-old. So I feel much better. But guys, no. Let's stop now.
My son is 6.
Yeah.
And otherwise he speaks English for no reason.
Yeah.
Because he speaks English because he goes to a white school.
Yes.
So ungamla kahle kahle. But unokusuka ehlaya lentwana khuluma isiZulu mina no. Kade wena khuluma English. Yes. Can't do that. Why? Besabiza amagama amakhulu fresh. It doesn't. Ela son ngokwami la.
Yeah.
But I'm having so much fun with the kids, man.
You're also having a lot of fun with, I'm not going to say blessings alone. It's your hard work also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot that is getting a lot of love, getting a lot of support. The radio show is sounding amazing. I think you and Thomas have found your groove.
Sure.
You guys are banging. The banger.
I think this is a thing, Fresh Hour. When you blessings are there, and I'm always going to be grateful for them. My ancestors are doing a great job. God is amazing. I still have time for God every day on my phone to say it's time to pray and say thank you for all the blessings that you have. But at the same time, hard work, dedication, discipline. and pacing yourself. Sometimes it doesn't think that there is. They come in numbers.
Sure.
And I can do everything, Joe. But you need to pace yourself.
At some stage, you need to learn to say, okay, not now.
Yeah, there's other things like this is not mine, eh?
Sure.
This thing is really not mine. So how I do things and how I pace myself.
Sure.
I'm happy and I'm comfortable, and when I'm happy, I'm not going to the creativity out here.
Sure.
When I'm happy, I'm
You're a
like
machine.
lapoge I
Sure.
You can put anyone in front of me and say, Skhumba, you're headlining. When I'm happy, don't worry out here. I'm bringing my A game. So I'm at the point where I'm happy. So it's easy for me to do my radio show. No Thomas. It's easy for me to do my stage. Like last week, I went back on stage after. Last time I was on stage was in December 8/29. So the rest of the hour I didn't do anything. Just check if the kids are comfortable.
Oh, I thought you were still counting the gate takings from December.
Nah. Yeah, I went back on stage. I went back on stage last week. This thing in Soweto.
Sure.
And I realized that I've lost my mind. Like, man. That's why I want, like, when you are in my shows, I want you to enjoy the show so much.
So when you say you think you've lost your mind, what happened in Soweto?
You need to be in my shows to understand the level of creativity that I have. Because I'm on stage, I see everything. There's a guy that is seated here in the sister. There's another guy, I think actually on the second row. I'm like, okay, this guy, and he's blind. I'm like, I can see that he's blind. My mind says, don't say anything. But my other mind is like, if you don't say anything, why not?
Exactly.
Because this guy came to my show to have fun.
And he knows.
He knows exactly why I feel up. Maybe he doesn't. But he knows that he doesn't. Like, Fred, why else did you sunglass? That guy, like, yeah, I was on his case. After the show, he comes to me, he's like, yo, what are you doing in June?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll check my dates. I've got something for you. I want you to come host a show for us and my organization. Super good guys, super rich. So I'm doing a show for the blind, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if to put like another thing.
You don't know if they're fair game or not. Are they fair game?
But it's those things that happen in my shows that are so magical. Did a show called The City the other day. There was a guy with a wheelchair selling up a kunin. So I'm roasting everyone in front. So I see him.
And then you pause.
I'm like, man, he's like, see it, boy, see it. But my other man is like, don't do it. I'll tell me, don't. But I'm like, oh, man, he's there.
Oh.
So I make fun of him.
It's a comedy show.
It's a comedy show. That's why people are there. People are not there to
be victims.
To be victim or to have personal issues. Oh, I went wrong. Like, no, they are there to have fun. And they want you to say these things.
Sure.
After the show, he comes to me, he's like, yo, I have an organization in Soweto. I want you to come and
roast all of us.
Roast all of us. And I'm like, I'm going to come. And just super nice. It's great. And I see it happening now with Tess and Gonzo and Momutewe having a show where they have a sign language interpreter there.
Sure.
So you understand where we're taking this thing. We're not saying comedy.
You're being inclusive.
Comedy can't be there. Certain people for everyone.
That's what it is.
Like when I saw that there's an interpreter on stage, I'm like, I want to be part of this because this is great for the people that can't hear. But because reading lips sometimes maybe might not be enough. But if you have someone that is like Owako, it makes it easier.
I want to see something. Why don't you hire Bumpy for one of your shows?
You want to do what?
Well, hire Bumpy. Bumpy, you're going to get
What?
I just want to see something.
Fresh.
Skhumba featuring Bumpy.
And when you see you happen. But people that come to my shows, man, the love has been amazing. The love has been and it's been years now.
And they come with an open mind.
I love that.
Even where they feel like they must bow kuzenyana, they do it with love. It's not
enough. Yeah, you know that enough.
Yeah.
But that in the back of their minds, they always wanted to say these things or think about these things. But at the same time, that's where the comedy is, man. And the love has been amazing. We're not gonna stop now, eh?
You got waxed the other day.
Yeah.
Why were you waxed?
So this is the thing. Thomas and I have a feature on radio called Jukebox. So it's 5 days, obviously, in the week. We're doing a show Monday to Friday, Kalan 5, 9, 3 to 6.
So there's always a wager.
There's always a loser.
Yeah.
So the loser will have to do anything that the other one, the winner, has chosen him to do. So I won the first week of Jukebox, but I forgot, because I felt you wave.
Sure.
I forgot the wave because it was in Bali. I mean, it's last week.
Sure.
She was going to 702. So the focus was more on Bali and living in a great high note. Forgot about Thomas. I'm a loser. Now, this full Thomas, I must wax. Let me tell you now, Fresh. So I'm not waxing anything anymore.
So what have you waxed?
Just this part. I wanted to do wax everything.
Also, my shisha shop.
Better I figure out. First of all, you know better. That's clear. Yeah, but that thing is nice but painful.
Yeah.
Painful. So I'm like, nah. So and then the second week, I think I lost again. I don't understand in Thomas, but I won 1 week, and I thought young Superman.
Sure.
So I was wearing a Superman gown.
And I remember he walked in.
This week.
Yeah.
I think I lost the last week, so he's bringing a snake. I need to put a snake in my shoulders for about 3 minutes. But we just taking radio to another level. Man.
And it's fun.
It needs to be fun. People are driving from work. They are tired. People will have a long day. Why do you want them to listen to radio and be bored?
Absolutely.
So the least they could do is smile while listening to radio.
Let me escape. And I think that's what a lot of shows get wrong. They forget who is listening.
Nah, but we can't do a show and people must listen to 6 never.
Exactly.
No, they know what happened in the news.
Take me home.
No, they know what happened in the news. They know what has been happening. They know that the election state time the 29th of May. Why? So you know that the election, we don't care, John. Like we really don't. Like right now we don't.
You are in a brand new TV show. Let's talk about that.
It's a movie. It's a movie on Netflix. It's called A Soweto Love Story.
Sure.
Got a call from the director, Okoli Nigi. You know, there's a thing about auditions for a show. People know who they want in the movies.
Yeah.
I know that. Like half of the time, they know they want this role to be played by
exactly this person.
By Silo Makegangub.
Sure.
Why are they calling Uhlomla Tanda? They know they want Silo Makegangub. They don't have to call this one. So I get a call from the director like, yo, Zagalai, I have this role, man. I want you to play. Like, first time before we talk, are you sure you want me?
Sure.
Because I got peace out here, auditioning, and you still have to think about it. You're wasting your time and mine.
Sure.
At my man, this is the story. I want you to play this character. I'm like, oh, so you want me to play like Cash? Because like Cash, we are
Sure.
That's the first person I'm thinking of when you're saying a debt collector. I'm like, okay, let's see this thing. So I'm like, I'm gonna put in myself in this because I'm nationalist about bikers.
Sure.
And I know I'm so I played the role and say, yo, man, getting so much love for it.
You're getting so much love. A lot of people feel like, but why does your character not appear more often?
Yeah.
Do you not feel the way now that you were underused?
No, I feel I was used in the right time, in the right moment for the show. The show is not a comedy. It's not a sitcom or a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. So there's people that playing the real top roles. It's stirring. But this is what you know about me.
When you're stirring, making a cameo appearance.
I don't even came, but this is what I said the last time I was here. Don't give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Because I want to maximize on these 2 minutes, that it will turn into an hour.
Sure.
So I know how to use 2 minutes. I know how to use 30 seconds to make my mark. So
this sounds like a guy speaking to his wife. Baby, don't worry, I know how to use 2 minutes.
Fresh. We're not 2 minutes, I said. We're not so down. Mina bang bisa mlaga-laga. I'm really take my time. But so with the 2 minutes that I always have, anything that I do, I always try and maximize it. So the roles that they gave me, I made sure which but the cut.
Sure.
They're like, most content have some guy or something else. Yes,
Exactly.
But it's great because now if there's gonna be a sequel or something else on the movie, I know for a fact which or with luck, based on for the Skhumba, we want you to play something maybe bigger than what you played, or someone else is watching like I can use Skhumba for this and that.
Mara, do you think there's a lesson in that? Because I generally feel a lot of kids out there don't understand that sometimes the only shot you get is the only shot you're gonna get, but it's still by ways.
I think it's more of people being entitled. And but the entitlement, it is what I think I deserve more.
Sure.
But have you worked enough to deserve more now? That's the question. Have I acted enough to get a whole movie?
Sure.
The answer is no. Have I acted enough to be part of history? People feel like that. I know for a fact that I've never been on stage at Market Theatre to say to myself, I think I deserve a 1 hour, 20-minute movie to act. Ngibe nama-stunts, ngiwe, ngikhiphe spam, like all these crazy things that actors do. Ngiyangithola ama-temple, ngithi hayi kumele ngifastele, ngithi kill everybody. I don't think I've acted enough to get those roles. With the little that they are giving me, I'm happy. If they feel like, oh no, we need to give Skhumba more, then we are gonna have to work for more. Now I have to do my research more. I need to watch more movies to see, okay, I can do this thing. This thing I can't do.
So, Shayla movie, you've ticked the box.
Sure.
You're doing shows, selling out arenas, the one-man show, tick the box. You're doing radio, you've ticked the box. You're doing game shows on TV, you're ticking boxes, NJ. Ticking boxes. What is missing? What's the elusive?
I want to go on tour with my friends this year. This year I'm gonna do a one-man show later on this year. I'm still doing Skhumba's weekend comedy specials.
Sure.
This weekend inside Durban on the 24th, and then I'm gonna have E23 Zagamaj Wheatbank. If we're not doing anything out here,
Sure.
I want you to come to Wheatbank and understand why I do a show at the Ridge every year. I've seen crowds watch me. I've seen crowds receive me. I've seen crowds laugh at my jokes.
Sure.
Not like at the Rich. Like you lose your mind, like no man. Like abeko grand. The energy in at the Rich, it's always gonna be my number one show that I do.
Sure.
When it comes to energy, so I'm doing that on the 23rd of March, and then I'm gonna have it 6 April East London, Hemingway's, and then have it 12 and 13 right here at Market Theatre in April. So 6 April Hemingway's, and then 12 and 13 right here. And I'm part of the Love Africa Festival that has Eddie Griffin in it. I think I'm working on the 7th. So yeah, it's all that. So but this year I wanna do a tour with my friends, even if it's 1 month. I wanna do a tour with Celeste, with Pops.
Sure.
With Robbie Collins, with Eugene Koza. I just want to be on stage with my peers and not in a 2,000 seat.
Sure.
No, let's do something crazy, man. Let's do Sunbed. Let's do Durban ICC. Let's do Cape Town ICC.
Yeah, let's do 5 to 10,000.
Let's do 5 to 10,000 people, and just have fun doing it. Because I think we're doing so well in our different
No,
places.
it's nice. It's happening. It's happening, right?
Like Pops is doing great.
Yeah.
Celeste is doing amazing. Felix Slope in Durban is doing amazing things. Got a show on Showmax right now. You've got Simpure Chambers got his own movement. You've got Eugene that is back on the scene doing shows, doing ads. Like everyone is doing something great.
Sure.
How about we say one weekend, let's just go on stage and give these people a 2-hour show. Like, they can't even breathe. Like what just happened right now?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Similar to the Sunday you guys did on Oship.
Similar to that fresh when
Like Perry the Arena.
our time where people just people don't understand what Oship on a Sunday is all white.
Yeah.
People are switching off the sound to come watch comedy when they just had Jive from a mini.
Sure.
But the show is at 9 p.m.
And in fact, they've literally been dancing for 12 hours before you.
Basically.
Yeah.
But they come there and sit and be quiet and laugh when they're supposed to laugh.
Sure.
That's what I want to see happen. I want people to leave their homes and like, as in, we're going to watch our favorite stand-up comedians in South Africa.
And easily the best in the game. You must add
Like basically,
You must add-
like Joe, like Alfred Aldrin is doing so much great things for us. Like this guy is just giving us a reality TV show in his phone.
Sure.
At the same time, he fills at theaters everywhere in the country.
Sure.
He's in England right now.
Yo.
He's performing in Liverpool. This is a colored boy from South Africa.
Is this that kid that takes your audio, your radio audio?
No, Alfred, I think we had Alfred once here on the show. Alfred Aldrin.
Oh, yes, come on.
Alfred is a superstar, fresh. Alfred is gone, Joe. And you look at it like, I can't be jealous of this thing.
Sure.
All I have to do is celebrate this guy. 'Cause
Absolutely.
He found his market.
Yes.
He's working hard on it. At the same time, he's just having fun.
It was funny without trying. We did have him here. He's
Yeah,
funny.
he took his mom and dad to England and like, let's go.
Yeah.
Just by comedy.
Let's go to half our motherland.
Could have taken them to Reche Park, but it's like, let's go to England. Shout out to him, man. So we are all doing great in our spaces, but how about one day we come and like, okay, Jans, let's do this thing for 1 month
Sure.
and just see what's gonna happen.
I'll be there, and then the 23rd of March, I've only got a gig during the day.
The Rich Casino
I will be coming to the
must die. 23rd March, the Rich Casino. Like, I've done shows there, but no. I think the first 20 minutes, I've never done material there.
Sure.
I've like take the mic.
And you go just observe.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just go, and the response is always amazing.
So, you've done all that you're doing.
Sure.
Like I'm saying, and you now want to go on the road with your friends, because that's what people do when they've made enough money. They start bringing people in, but it's also an election year.
Yeah.
How does that affect your comedy and influence your comedy?
I think what I've done maybe great for my comedy career was not to be one politically motivated to do comedy.
Exactly.
So whether elections are happening or not doesn't affect me.
Sure.
Whether the president of the country is sick or whether Julius Malema is in Durban, I got a handkerchief.
That's not content for you.
That doesn't really affect me.
Sure.
Because I've never made my comedy career to be politically motivated. That's not my focus.
Sure.
My focus is something else. Right? Like my focus right now is so many crazy things. Like I said to you, I went back on stage last week. The things I came up with in my mind, I'm like, and I love that because I get my inspiration from stupid things. Like to go yekas.
Yeah.
Sure. Fika uthama uMoscow athi wona sibalo ngithi sibala uzwile ngithi yena phela lebhadane ngenyawo ngithi ingathi uxoxele yenzeni ke. You see, on the radio you're interested in the story.
Yeah.
I'm listening, I'm like, yes, ufuna sibala okay nginamanga ethi ngibizo Roy zokaba yi uyakhuluma ngenzeni man. You're there for an hour. You got 6 stories that motivate your thinking. So you go to a market theater, you watch people do all kinds of crazy things. Dude, I was here at M Studios, sitting upstairs waiting for you to finish. I'm in the room fresh. There's a black bag.
Yeah.
Black leather bag sitting here. I'm like, okay, my old mind, Uti, I'm going to be looking, call back the bag, but my mind is like, what if we are call back the bag and then they come in and then now,
Exactly.
now it's a case, mos. Skhumbuzo, relax. I'm relaxing. A white guy comes in with a nice, slender white lady. Hey, how's it, my guy, grand? They introduce themselves. I don't even listen to them because that's what I do. I don't pay attention to names. He sits in front of me. We talk about sports. Hey, do you like sports? And I'm like, yeah, I do watch sport. I don't like golf. They're like, yeah, man, I also like sport. Like UFC, I watch UFC. I just saw this white guy from South Africa that just won a belt. He's like, yeah.
And you're talking to the guy.
Yeah, I'm talking to him. And then he's like, now they come first me to come to you.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want to take a picture with the belt? You need to be like, what belt? He opens this bag.
Yeah.
It's a UFC champion. I'm talking to Plessis in front of me. This guy just won this whole thing.
Yeah.
What if I said the wrong things? This guy is a UFC champ, world chill fresh. I'm so embarrassed too. I'm like, this man's so stupid, man. I was in the room. You know how much is that there? That bitch is worth millions.
And I'm putting that big.
And ngabe ngivulile ngabona ukuthi kunani phakathi. When you come to first when you come with Fadila. Check the next show. We are showing them steps in the fries. But I was in the room with the championship belt. Over 30 minutes, I didn't open the bag. I'm so disappointed in myself. I should go back to the old Skhumba. Me join this in Tongue right. Yes, sir. I'm going to gas mouth.
And the funny thing, Dricus is the interviewer doing straight after yours. So you guys are on the same show?
Fresh. I'm sorry. I need to disappear. But even I feel so stupid because Skhumba is sport on how much. And Kulmanga is a third person, not
like he's not there.
No, he's like, when UFC comes to South Africa, Dricus is gonna make so much money. I'm like, yeah, how much? He's like, millions or billions. I'm like, if I can have a billion, leaving my wife, we are laughing. With him. That's just, I feel so stupid, right? I'm ignorant.
That's funny.
Amen.
So, where do we catch you in action over the next couple of weeks?
Like I said, I'm back on stage full time now. Obviously on radio between 3 and 6 no Thomas.
Sure.
Kainan 5-9, and then Durban this coming weekend, 24th of February, then 23 March, Malahleni, the Rich Casino, and then I've got the 6th of April, East London Hemingways, and then I've got the 12th and the 13th Market Theatre, and then I want to do my wheelchair drive again this year. I want to do it again. At what June I'm doing a show for my blind guy and his organization, which is gonna be amazing, and I'm looking forward to it because it's like a challenge in my life. Like, can you? Let's go.
Exactly.
And then later on this year, we're still talking about it, but we've opened a club gig in Joburg. Not opened, but we have a club gig that is fully operational right now.
Okay. We're
meeting myself, Louis Okona, Pops, Robbie Collins, Mo Jack. We are in Joburg. We don't have a club gig.
Yeah.
We don't have where.
And Pella, you guys are like the ANC.
Yeah, we like
the ruling party of committee.
You understand what I'm saying? So every Tuesday and Thursday, starting from next week at Artistry in Santin.
Sure.
There's comedy there.
Okay.
Every Tuesday.
I will be there on Tuesday.
And Thursday, there's comedy at Artistry. Whereas Kumbu Corner, there's comedy there.
I will be there.
There's going to be stage available for every comedian that wants to come and do comedy. So it's just the tickets are at Cricket for 120, and it's 100 seats per night. So it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. As it goes on, we're going to have amateur nights, but let's just have a comedy night and a comedy stage where we can go every week.
And sharpen your material.
Sharpen your material, and because we have so many big things that are planned for the year.
Sure.
But how many times do we go to a small room?
We don't take up all.
And yes, take who's Lulu.
Exactly.
I can add this and this. So we're doing that for that room for that. So it's a new comedy room. Artistry Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are there every week.
I can't wait. We'll see you on Tuesday.
It's gonna be too nice, friends. It's gonna be too nice. But yeah, I'm gonna be on tour. Looking forward to it. And yeah, before we go, I'm gonna be back at What a Week, now fresh to chopping up what happened this year. Cause Oscar is out.
Exactly. Are you worried?
I'm not fresh. No.
Eh?
Let's not do it here. Let's not do it.
I'm asking for a friend. What are you worried?
Whose friend is dating?
I'll send some around. Are you skinny?
Okay, don't do it. Don't do it here. You want to know this? Please come to my shows. I promise you. It's gonna be too nice.
Guys, until you've attended a Skhumba show, you have not been to a comedy show. Yeah, right, I said it. My dude,
Fresh anytime, Joe.
I love you. I love your work. We'll see you on O-Ship last weekend of November. It should be sold out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, good. I saw a post today. It says 90% sold out. I'm like,
it's done.
So that is basically done. And it's great that people want to come and be out. I mean, We just have to have fun, man, fresh. There's so many things that we're going through as humans. The least we could do is have time on our own, have time on abantwana bethu.
Yeah.
Have fun. Just laugh a lot and hey man, kuningi man.
On that Ningi note, Skhumba is about to leave the building.
This is
What a week.
What a Week. This kid really kicks.
This interview is brought to you by Bankso. So what is Tour de Bankso? Tour de Bankso is a competition being run by Bankso for its clients. It's an opportunity to reward clients and thank them for their support and surprise and delight them in the process. The competition runs from 15 February to 15 May 2024 and is exclusively for Bankso clients. Our guest is in the building. He got given a nickname in a slightly unusual way, so please welcome Dricus, Sally Noodles, du Plessis, because after 2 minutes, all you feel is wet and limp. Oh wait, sorry. Guys, can we get the script right? Thank you. Please welcome Dricus, Rusks, du Plessis, because you'll need to be dipped in a lot of coffee to wake up. I like that, but no, guys, can we get the right one now? Can't work like this. His nickname was actually taken from a sleeping tablet, fitting and ironic since he's familiar with people getting knocked out, taking a nap. That's not to say he's boring to hang around with, and even if he was, I wouldn't tell him, would you? Please give a wow welcome to the champ, Dricus, Stillknocks, du Plessis, dun dun. From welcome to Hardy's, he clapped everyone, and now he's a world champ. I should actually be your mbongi. Introduce you everywhere.
That was incredible. Probably one of the best I've ever heard.
Welcome, champ.
't you so much. Thank you for having me.
So am I going on a world tour with you now? I'll just be the guy that introduces you everywhere.
That would be great because, listen, if you're ever looking for a second job, there you go.
Done deal. Now, before we jump into the personal stuff, one thing I know, because I used to sponsor a martial artist who was struggling with getting funds. He'd be invited to fight in Japan, but he wouldn't have a sponsor. At that time, he's got his national colors. You know what I mean? So I understand that it's difficult for you guys to find sponsors often. What is the relationship with Bankso? Who are Bankso?
Yeah, 100%. And you are very correct in saying that, especially coming up and being an aspiring fighter.
Yeah.
Bankso being an online trading brokerage.
Sure.
Being amazing in what they do, being passionate about sports, being investing in sports and people. And I mean, that's the future of sports, the future of our country. And look how proud we are currently.
Absolutely, yes.
Of all our sports people. And, with people like Bankso going and obviously changing the game of trading, revolutionizing their field, but they also give athletes the ability to chase their dreams and bring back home world titles.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about your old man, because your old man is legendarily known as a hard worker. Tell us about the influence of being raised by a hard worker.
Absolutely.
And having hard-working older brothers on top of that.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're under pressure to keep up.
Listen, that's the one thing. It was always a competition, and it was a healthy competition.
Yeah.
And growing up like that, and having that example of, your hard work is what will pay off in you.
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't a pressure. It was a good pressure. It was more of a being told that you can do it.
Yes.
Like there's only one way, and that's by working for it. And seeing it, not only hearing it, but seeing how hard my father worked, how hard my brothers worked, and wanting to beat them at it. That's at the end of the day. It's a competition always, and it's a good competition. Now we have a great relationship, and they taught me, to my mom, my dad, and my brothers, everything I know. They taught me that.
But you were raised rugby, though. So how did martial arts happen?
Yeah, I was raised with rugby. I guess I got a couple of good fights on the rugby field.
That's actually the best place to know if you're suited for martial arts or not.
Yeah.
Out on the rugby field.
Yeah. I grew up in a house of rugby players and enthusiasts myself. Love the sport, love the game. And martial arts, I've been doing it since I was 5 years old, just as a extra activity.
Sure.
It was never the plan to become a professional, and I just loved it from the word get-go. Since the age of 14, I would say, I really felt this passion, and I just watched fights, videos everywhere I can find them. They weren't that accessible in South Africa, but every video I could find, every movie I could watch about with fights and martial art movies, I just watched it and loved it.
Which would be the greatest martial arts movie of all time?
Okay, wow. That is a very good question.
I know.
So my favorite one at the stage, Never Back Down, the very first movie, actually is the movie that inspired me to start.
Please don't tell me Bloodsport.
No.
Okay, good.
No, listen, they're fun to watch. Even the Undisputed movies, very unrealistic, but I love them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's good to see what you could possibly do.
Imagine.
If you applied yourself.
Yeah, if you applied yourself.
So, greatest martial arts movie of all time?
I'm gonna have to say, this is so hard. Damn.
Apart from Undisputed, which other martial arts
Yes.
movies had you saying, geez, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme in his days were absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I mean, these are legendary movies. And I'm going to have to say Never Back Down. That's a movie that inspired me to go out and do this sport.
Sure.
So I have to go with that movie.
When did you realize that this is going to be your life? Because there's a stage where it's a hobby.
Yeah.
There's a stage where it's an extracurricular activity.
100%.
And then there's that day you realize that, oh, flip. It's like I'm at a point of no return. I'm a con guy here.
Yeah, so there was actually two signs that you can call it leveled up in the sport.
Yes.
Since I did it, I mean, I played rugby. I wanted to play rugby professionally, and that's why I went to Tuks, University of Pretoria, to pursue my dream of becoming a professional rugby player. And I think I was a week in, and I would have gotten a scholarship for that. And I just told my parents, I don't think I want to do this. Chasing this. I've been playing rugby my whole life. I've been dreaming about being a rugby player, and this was my time to start after high school to try and become a Springbok rugby player.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, that's no easy task, and very, very few people will have that. And I just decided in 1 week, I said, I think I want to be a fighter.
Tell us what's happening in your head before you tell your parents that you're about to disappoint them.
That is very true. So that's actually fun that you mentioned, because that's the second story. That's the second time.
Ah, okay.
So I made that decision, and they said, listen, we'll support you in whatever you decide, but you have to think about this carefully. What are you going to do for a living?
Did you sit with them or was it over the phone?
No, I sat with them. Okay. I had to sit with them, and the second time was actually...
Did you do it from outside, like just through the window? Guys, I'm not doing rugby anymore.
If you hear this second story, you'll be much more... You'll realize that one I did over the phone.
Okay.
The second one.
Okay.
So I was 6 months away from graduating BCom degree.
Yes.
At Dricus, and I got my second shot at a title in the local as a professional. Mm. And I said, I have to take this seriously. I can't do my studies and this, and I said I'm going to stop studying. And,
oh wow!
For this fight, stopping my studies. I said if I lose this fight, I will quit this sport as a profession, and I will do it as a hobby.
Sure.
And I will finish my studies, and yeah, I basically told him 6 months before graduating that I'm going to stop studying and pursue this dream of becoming a professional fighter.
Jeez.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. They didn't like that idea, but at the end of the day, they said, you're a grown-up, and at the end, we will support whatever decision you make.
Sure. And also, it's your bed,
Yeah.
You must lie in it.
Good luck.
You have to lie in it.
Good luck.
And, the reason I'm asking you about that is because a lot of kids go through that. A lot of kids go through this, my parents expect this from me. I'm expected to be a lawyer. I'm expected to be a doctor. This is the path expected of me. And you decided, nope, I want to be a DJ.
Well, 100%. I was actually at a primary school yesterday talking to the kids.
Yeah.
And that was the one lesson that they asked me about how I got to where I am. And that, like you said, I think so many people, and that is great for me. That is the one thing that I love about this, is the fact that I can inspire just one person.
Sure.
To say, yes, I know being a lawyer is better. I know being a doctor is better. Maybe even if you have the grades and accessibility to become one.
Sure.
But that's not your passion. That's not what you want to do.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, it's your life, and chase that dream, no matter what. Just because the world wants you to be a doctor or to be a lawyer, or, even if everybody expects you to be a professional sports person, but you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, it's your passion, it's your life, and if you don't love what you do, you're in the wrong industry.
Can you elaborate maybe on a particular moment that was challenging in your career and how you managed to navigate through that moment?
I would say the most challenging thing I've ever been through, obviously, the losses were challenging mentally to recover from those, and, believing, thinking, am I really good enough to make this?
Sure.
One of the challenges were, as I was getting to an age of, I would say 25, realizing, listen, I have all my eggs in this basket.
Sure.
I'm pursuing to become a UFC world champion, and
Sure.
I was winning fights and I was doing everything right, but I just didn't get the opportunity to fight in the UFC. And then I lost after 6-7 years of being unbeaten, having 3 different world titles.
Do you remember the moment of the loss?
Yes, very, very good. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, I'm 25 years old. I'm getting to where my peak is going to start. And I just lost for the first time. And I didn't get opportunity to fight in the UFC.
Was it a knockout? Was it a...
It was a TKO loss.
TKO, okay.
And
what kind of TKO was it?
it was the guy punched me really, really hard and hold on down.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then they...
they stopped at the fight.
Yeah.
And I thought I was just winning for 6-7 years, running a 10-fight win streak, and now I lost. I still didn't get opportunity to fight in the UFC. They still didn't see me.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting all over. How am I going to... And I thought, in terms of finances, in terms of, looking after a family one day,
Sure.
is this going to be a possibility? What am I going to do? And no, I just said, let's keep on going. So that was one of the hardest challenges. The mental challenges are much harder than the physical challenges, 100%.
And I think often that's the fear of people who are on a winning streak, that nothing lasts forever, including a winning streak. So surely that moment where you were knocked out might have been a knockout, but maybe it was something you needed to remind you that maybe you need to work a little bit harder, to remind you that, listen, there is a kid out there who's training harder than I am,
100%.
and I need to step up myself.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Every a loss can make or break people, just like a win can. And the thing is, you just said it perfectly, that nothing lasts forever. So the win streak might not last forever, but so does the losing streak.
Absolutely.
That loss won't last forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, you often caught attention for your political views. How do you feel about all the attention you're getting?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because anytime this is being brought, any political things brought up,
Yeah.
it's always controversial.
Sure.
Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. And for me, when I was asked about our political situation, I just 100% answered the question as I experience it.
Absolutely.
As a citizen of South Africa. And I said before, I said, guys, I'm not smart enough to be a politician.
Sure.
Or to be political. It's not my industry. I'm a sports person. And I hate to make anything negative.
Sure.
But I was asked a question and I answered it in my honest opinion.
Sure.
And
Based on what you are living.
that's
So,
based on how I experience my day-to-day life.
so I remember I posted a video, wishing you well, and saying, bring the belt home. And then someone says to me that disappointed in me, I'm supporting a racist. And so in my mind, I needed to remind myself that this is social media, where there's always a lynch mob waiting.
Always.
There's always someone ready to criticize what you say, who you even talk to.
100%.
You know what I mean? And one person was saying, for instance, how can you support someone who is spreading the narrative about farm murders? And in my mind, again, I'm like, I need to remind myself all the time, the kind of people you're dealing with in social media, that in social media, if you don't like apples, you better like oranges.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have any opinion.
100%.
But I'm from the school of thought that I might not agree with you, but I will defend your right to express how you feel,
100%.
to express your lived experience. So, for instance, regarding the farm murders, for argument's sake, my argument is always, do we have a farm murders problem, or do we have a murder problem in this country?
Yeah.
Do we have a violence problem in this country?
That is very true.
Do we have a soft targets problem
Absolutely.
in this country? Because unfortunately, a lot of people committing crimes are also cowards. They will go for soft targets.
Yes.
Who are the soft targets? Women, children, people who live isolated from everyone else,
Absolutely.
including farmers.
Yes.
So if for you, in your lived experience, that's what you are feeling, and you're feeling under siege, you should be allowed to express that is what you are experiencing.
Absolutely.
But I always go a step further and say, the numbers say we have a violence problem in our society.
That's it. At the
And
end of the day, we have a violence problem.
we need to deal with the violence problem that we have, because it's affecting everyone, including farmers, women, children, including men. In fact, if we're going to look at the numbers, we're actually having more men being murdered than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So for me, for people to be throwing stones at me because I support you, I'm like, how childish are we that we get polarized as easily as that?
Let me explain it this way. I spoke to somebody the other day that also, and that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, guys, if I have a charity for cancer,
Sure.
that does not mean I don't care about the other diseases.
According to social media, you don't care about the rhino then.
Yeah, exactly.
Cancer? What about the rhino?
What about the rhino? Exactly. The one thing that I do say, and that's how I explain it to people as well, when they said, listen, we have gender-based violence, we have all that. And I said, I have never experienced that.
Yeah.
I have never experienced any of the other problems.
Sure.
I have experienced farm murders. I know people who's been murdered on a farm. I am from that lifestyle. So it affects me directly, and that's why I mentioned that specifically.
Absolutely.
Because we all live in different circumstances, and that is my circumstance. I am from that community.
Sure.
So that's why I prioritize that, because it affects me directly, and I have the right, like you said, to express that specific one. So coming back to it, just because I have a charity for cancer doesn't mean I don't care about the rhinos.
And I think because the world has reached that point where we are all fighting these proxy battles, everyone wants to fight the proxy battle for a different cause. Like Dricus is worried about cancer, but what about gout?
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody has their own person around.
Gout? Do you think people who have gout must die?
Yeah, you don't care about anybody else.
And that's the world we're living in. It's the wildest thing.
It's crazy. I mean, and yeah, murder in general, we have a problem, like you said. But I prioritize what I have experienced.
Absolutely. So, an election year is coming up. We're in the middle of the election year.
Yeah.
What do you say to young people that haven't registered to vote?
Firstly, thank you for registering.
Yeah.
And taking the responsibility, the time, and it's a much bigger decision than we ever think. And my opinion is, go in there with an open mind. Go in there and look around you and look what you want for this most amazing country in the world. And at the end of the day, it's your personal choice and what you consider as important. And don't let people affect your decision. Don't let people.
Sure.
Go talk to yourself and say, where are we? Where do we want to be? And how much we love this country and what we want for it.
Let's stick with politics. Let's talk Formula One. You're a Formula One fan.
I am a big Formula One fan.
You do work with Mercedes.
I do.
But you're also a Max fan.
I am a Max fan.
Let's talk about the politics of loyalty.
Then, that is a very interesting. So, I mean, that was one of the first things I thought, and I said,
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. But, I was a Max fan before I signed with Mercedes.
In fact, I was going to say, so when you're having this conversation with Mercedes-Benz, do you have to disclose that, but I am a Max fan?
I actually thought about that, and I thought, I really hope they don't ask me. I don't want to ride to these people.
In your defense, you can say to them, Red Bull doesn't have a car.
Lucky. Thank you. That is a great argument. I have to remember that.
But neck on the line, though, how do you think Max will do in this coming season?
Max looks unstoppable, to be honest. He's just so good. And the crazy news of Lewis going to Ferrari, that's
Eventually, good Ferrari.
yeah. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But right now, I think Max is on a tear.
Sure.
Yes.
If Max and Lewis were in the same car, who'd win?
That's a very, very interesting point. I honestly think Max would still win. That Mercedes is, I mean, the last season wasn't that great. Obviously, when they brought in the blocks for everybody
Sure.
to level the playing field. But Max's first year as champion, that Mercedes was a lot faster than the Red Bull car.
Absolutely.
100%.
But if they were both in a Mercedes or both in a Red Bull, why do you think Max should win?
I think, to be honest with you, I think Lewis, in his prime, I think he's past his prime, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Max,
He's probably, the second oldest guy, right?
yes, and Max is
on
the
circuit.
new young hungry lion, and
Yeah.
you know it's always hard when that happens because it's the old guard versus the new guard, and you know right now I'm the new guard, so that's why I have to go with the new guard.
The wild thing is half of these kids currently racing were Lewis fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. I mean, guys are 18 years old driving in the Formula One.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy. It's amazing.
So Bahrain is happening in a month. Who's going to be pole? What do you think?
It's been crazy. One thing that I would say that I would like to see is I'm a fan of George Russell.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a big fan,
Sure.
and to see him reach his potential would be great. And then of course, I wonder, Ferrari, are they gonna make because this past season Ferrari was polling every single time, starting 1 and 2, and then race day comes and it just doesn't pay off.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be, are they gonna be able to fix the small areas that they have and make the right adjustments? Because you know in that case, every qualify round they looked unstoppable. They put on crazy times, and then it just didn't pay off on race day.
Sure.
So that's gonna be great. So I think it's gonna be a great season. I think it's gonna be amazing.
So 1, 2, 3 in Bahrain. Put your neck on the line.
If I had to go with every driver, I'm going Max, Russell.
Okay.
Awesome. Oh,
Okay, we'll go with Max and Russell for now.
no, I have to. Yeah, well,
Max and Russell. What do you say to people who say about the FIA made Max win in 2021?
that was
That Lewis had a great car, but Max didn't win fairly.
yeah. That was one of the craziest things ever. When I watched that race, I was going crazy in front of my television watching that race.
Did he win fairly though?
Well, it's the rules. It was the rules.
But are the rules fair?
The one thing that I have to say with this, the FIA have penalized Lewis incorrectly,
And they changed the rules during the race.
and then
During the race.
during the race, they could do whatever they want, I guess. But you know, it was something I couldn't believe when I saw it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
yeah.
and changing the rules during the race. That was, yeah, I guess.
That was criminal. Call it what it is.
But listen, it made for some entertainment. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely.
It was one of the coolest sporting moments.
Sure.
You know, obviously there's a winner and there's a loser. People were unhappy, people were happy. For me as a sports fan in general,
Sure.
that was
And it's still being debated even now.
100%. So I mean, that's how you know it was a massive moment in the history of sport.
What do you say to people who are still debating whether you actually won the other day?
Yeah, just say, why do I have this thing?
Yes,
That's what the guy that wins get.
absolutely. This thing didn't jump into your lap.
Yeah, I got the bat because I won. If I lost, I wouldn't have gotten the bat.
Sure. Are you going to fight Israel? Do you think that'll happen?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the fight that people want to see. That's the fight I want to see. And yeah, I think it's it's a great fight. As a fan of sports and what the people want to see.
Will it happen this year?
Yes.
They're going to drop him.
100%. 100%. No doubt. 100%.
Now, sadly in your sport, though, there's also a lot of smack talk.
Yes.
And, Israel has said a lot of what might be hurtful to others and not hurtful to others. Saying, are you really an African? How does it feel when stuff like that is thrown at you? Or do you have a thick skin because of the industry you're in?
Yeah, listen, it has no effect on me.
Yeah.
South Africa is my home.
Sure.
South Africa is the best place on earth.
Born and raised.
Born, raised,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love this place.
Sure.
I love this place more than I've traveled to a lot of places in the world, and I can never wait to be home. I love this flag. I love this country. I love its people.
Sure.
And I'm extremely proud to be a South African. I don't want anything that anybody says
Sure.
around that. It's like water off a duck's back. Doesn't it?
Absolutely. What's next with Dricus?
What's next for me? I mean, the biggest thing is, obviously we are talkings for the next fights.
Yes,
And,
sir.
defending this bout, putting my life on the line and making sure that this bout stays on African and South African soil.
Sure.
And, making sure that as hard as I worked, because now I have a target on my back. And people are only studying me because everybody knows that is the benchmark.
Absolutely.
So now you are being studied by every single fighter in your division.
Yeah.
So for me, what's next is being double the fighter that I was when winning this bout and working double as hard as I did to win this bout, to keep this belt.
Now, obviously, a lot of you have an X on your back, like you said, at a professional level. But in the good old days, the guy that moved everyone had a mark on his back also. There'd always be a guy challenging you. Do you ever get challenged when you're out there?
Not anymore, luckily. I think people are like, he has a belt now, so...
So you don't think the belt is going to attract even more flies?
Geez, I hope not. I really hope not. Generally, I'm pretty good in de-escalating these situations.
I was going to say that, in fact, that was my next question, that as a professional martial artist, surely it's expected of you to de-escalate versus let me show you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to show you.
Yeah.
I do it as a profession.
Sure.
I fight.
You must pay me to show you.
Yeah, I'm not fighting for free. Yeah, no ways. And I always tell people when I'm out, listen, guys, I was in a fight just before I came here.
Yeah.
And I'm out in a bar, any place. I just say, guys, I literally was punched in the face and was punching my teammates in the face before I came here. It's a Friday night. Please, can we not hit each other? I would really like to have a night off.
Did your brothers beat you up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've never won a fight against my brother, except for the one who also had a professional career.
Sure.
And because when we were older, when I started becoming really good, I became an amateur world champion when I was 18.
Sure.
And then we didn't fight. We were best friends.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
So it's less reason to fight now.
But then my middle brother, I'm the youngest of three.
Sure.
He started training as well, and when he trained with me, I would beat him up just for all the years.
Yes.
And of course, my oldest brother, he was, we never stood a chance against him. He was just so much bigger and stronger. And
Yeah.
I mean, I have to give all the credit, a lot of credit to my brothers.
Sure.
For toughening me up, but it was never bullying. It was never bad.
It was
Obviously,
it was sibling rivalry.
sibling rivalries, and obviously boys will be boys. So there were times that we really went at it.
Yeah.
And but
Sure.
I haven't won a fight. Let's say that.
Stillknocks Biltong. How do we support you? Where do we buy that?
Oh, that's amazing. Great question. It was actually funny because I went to I'm spending a lot of time in America when I'm fighting. I'm there for a month at a time. And biltong being a very healthy snack in terms of having the protein, especially when I'm cutting weight. I crave it so much when I'm in America, but you can't take food and stuff.
And that jerky is horrible.
That's the point I'm getting. I'll eat the jerky every single time.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
The jerky is terrible.
Because it's not even the same playing field.
Sure.
You can't even...
Chalk and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, damn, I spoke about it to some of my American friends. Sure. They said, yeah, the one time that I brought over a little, and they had some of it, and they loved it. And then my other friends that live there now, they said that their friends love it too.
Sure.
And I said, let's do it. Let's bring in some. And we tested the market there, and it was amazing. People loved it. And, you know, we are launching in South Africa now.
Yes, please.
We will be launching in South Africa. We'll be in stores very soon. And I think it's going to be massive, because at the end of the day, we love Volta. We love durables. We have it, and that's why we launched first in America, is because that was where
Low-hanging fruit, man.
100%, and that's where it caught me, the idea of, listen, imagine this. Imagine, because you can't tell me when you eat it that you don't like it. Nobody in the world will ever say you don't like it. It's amazing.
Exactly.
And we had the idea, and I mean, it's incredible. It's sharing a piece of South Africa with the rest of the world.
Congratulations on Stillknocks Biltong.
Thank you so
We're
much.
looking forward to seeing it on our shelves, and we cannot wait to support you.
I appreciate
Apparently, there's a shirt there that you want to sign and give away.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think we have a shirt to give away. Am I giving it away, or is it my shirt? Oh wow! So it's my shirt, so I can't give it away.
Yeah, and well, you can give it away. It's your shit. You can do whatever you want with it.
No, it's my shirt from Dricus, guys. So sorry. So please sign my shirt.
I will definitely sign it.
Yeah. It's tiny though. It's going to fit on my thigh.
Listen, you can. Yeah, listen, you can hang it in your ball.
If I give it to my son is 8, so that'll actually fit
That
him.
will fit him perfectly. If he has your jeans, then this will fit him perfectly.
He's 8 and he's wearing, I think, 12 to 13 or 13 to 14.
Oh, wow.
So
he has daddy's jeans.
So we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. But dude, we're gonna need to let you go though. We just needed to have you in studio to congratulate you, to say well done, congratulations. We are fully behind you, and we'll continue to, say your name in rooms that you're not in.
I appreciate that so much. Thanks for having me. It's incredible to have this kind of support. And you know, like I said to you before the interview, I'm a massive fan. You know, I've been listening to you when you were on radio. I mean,
I raised you.
Yeah, I was maybe I was like 13.
Yes, sir.
And it was the mix at 6.
Ultimix at 6.
Ultimix at 6. That was it.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I listened to that when I started driving at 16. I remember that so clearly.
Oh, that's
so it's absolutely amazing to be talking to you, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Dricus du Plessis is about to leave the building. Remember the name Stillknocks Biltong in your mouth soon. Power cuts may have eased, but they're still around. Parts of the country experiencing heat waves, and other parts are getting drenched in rain. So we wish you the resilience of a young South African MMA fighter, the delight of a comedian tackling a movie role, and the energy of a premier announcing a major change, as if it was his party's idea, and not something hordes of people were shouting for and rejecting anyway. Hope you all have a WAW week ahead. Coming to you from AM Studios, we are part of the Africa Podcast Network. Pezunu Works do all of the cinematography, our imaging by artist The Flo Fraser, and our guests today, Dricus du Plessis and Skhumba. Shout out to our creative producer, Kravesh Mohan, and our show producer, Kilezo Modisa Gang. Email waw@africapodcastnetwork.com. Till next week, have a great week in spite of yourselves.